got to tell you, I am loving the comments I am seeing from you. You are doers. It's phenomenal. So really well done. Now in this video is going to be a little bit longer. You know I don't like long videos, but there is a reason this is going to be a little bit longer, because now what I'm going to do, and this is kind of optional if you want to watch this video, although I would encourage you to go through it. Grab a coffee. I've got mine right here. Because in this video, I'm going to go through the whole process of staking in the farm again. Obviously, we've broken this down over the last few videos, but now I'm going to kind of do it in real time. So I will still kind of show you, obviously what I'm doing, but I'm not going to break it down as detailed as we have been doing in the last few videos. I thought you might like to see, how all this is possible. And I say here this is 12 minutes. Now when I stake, it takes me 10 seconds. And you'll get to that stage as well. So it never does any harm, does it, to kind of repeat something, particularly something like this that's dealing with, your money, making you an income. This is why I keep saying about EUI. We need to educate. Then we understand, then it becomes so much more enjoyable. And then, of course, we implement. So let's do that. So bit of a longer video. Let's go through the whole process. So let's go back to Emp.money. Okay, and here I am at Emp.money. Let me connect to MetaMask firstly. Okay, wonderful. Let's make sure that we're working in the BNB chain. Now, we now need to decide which cryptocurrency we are going to stake. I've got BNB and I've got a little bit of Ethereum. The process is identical for both. You possibly may only have BNB. We've been through this 1,000 times, haven't we? If you went to Binance and you bought BNB and you've got BNB in your MetaMask, then obviously you only can choose BNB. But you may have some Ethereum if you went to Coinbase or another exchange and bought some Ethereum and bridged it over. In that case, you'll have some Ethereum and you'll also have a little bit of BNB, because we went through this earlier, didn't we? When you need a little bit of BNB for the gas fees. So it's really up to you. Whatever you want to do. I would recommend staking maybe $100 or so. And if you're not sure how much $100 is in terms of, well, how much is $100 in BNB? How much is $100 in Ethereum? Let me show you how easy to work that out. We want to go to a site, and I'll put a link to this below this video. You may have seen this site before. I've mentioned it a few times, coingecko.com. It lists all the cryptocurrencies. So let's go to coingecko.com. And here's Ethereum. Number 2 cryptocurrency at the time of making this video, and BNB is at number 4. So if we click on both of these, let me click on Ethereum firstly. And if I want to spend, you see there's this little conversion area here. If I want to spend, did we say $100? If I put $100, I'm going to make a note here. That's 0.036. See, it says that there? 0.036 of Ethereum. So that's how I would know how much Ethereum to spend for $100 worth. Let me go back and do the same for BNB. Let me click on BNB, scroll down a little bit here. Again, let's say I want to do $100. $100 is 0.2614. I think I'm going to do BNB myself, but it doesn't matter. You could do it either. So 0.2614. So I've made a note of the equivalent of $100 US in BNB and Ethereum. Great. Let's go back to Emp.money. Okay, now let's click on the farm. Okay, here are the farms. Which is the farm we're staking in? I know you know this. It's the first one, the EMP.ETH LP farm. Let's click on view. Now, of course, at the moment, your balance will be 0. And mine's 0 because we're using my MetaMask that I've set up just for the 4-week crypto mastermind. Now, the very first time you do this, but you only need to do this the first time, you'll see a button here that says approve. This basically means you want to say to MetaMask, hey MetaMask, I'm approving you to allow me access to this particular farm. Approve EMP.ETH LP. So we're going to approve this liquidity pairing. Now, this will take a tiny bit of gas, only a tiny bit that we pay in BNB. Remember this? Anytime you do any transaction, that gas fee is always taken in BNB. That's why we need some BNB for things like this. So you never want your BNB to go to 0. So I'm going to click on this, and you'll see MetaMask will open in a moment, and it will ask me to confirm that I want to approve this. You'll see what I mean. So let's do that. I'm clicking on this. There we go. MetaMask opens. Again, remember, I think this is a bit of a MetaMask design fault. You sometimes need to scroll down to see the confirm button. I've had people contacting me saying, I can't see where to click. Well, you need to scroll down. This is costing me 8 cents to give permission for MetaMask to essentially communicate with this particular farm. That's fine, 8 cents. That 8 cents has now just come out of my BNB, which is why we needed some there in the first place. You'll get a little notification here. Now, be patient. Sometimes this can take 30 seconds or so, but you can see something sort of ticking along over here. Basically, this is the blockchain working behind the scenes saying, yeah, okay, we're going to link Chris Farrell's MetaMask to this farm and it's all good. So that will take a couple of seconds. Once it's gone, once that has disappeared, you'll see now that we don't need to approve it anymore. And now we can stake. Now we're in a position to stake. So we're going to go and do this. This is how we stake. Remember I mentioned this Zap feature. Here is the Zap feature in the middle. There are different ways to stake, but this is the easiest and this is what I want you to do. When we click on the Zap feature, it's going to ask us which cryptocurrency we want to pull in from our MetaMask. Now you'll only have a choice of two. It'll either be Ethereum, won't it, or BNB. So we need to choose one of those. And I'm going to choose BNB. And I just made a note of 0.2641. Sorry, 0.2614 BNB is $100. So make a note of however much in US dollars you want to stake. Let's click on the Zap button. This window appears. It's very step by step, but let's go through it slowly. It says Zap in EMP, ETH, LP. This is exactly what we want to do. This is why I spent quite a few videos here in this week going through understanding, creating this liquidity pair, because I said, didn't I, that you're going to see this a lot, and I didn't want you to not understand this. So we're actually zapping in to the EMP, ETH liquidity pool. What are we zapping in? We can choose here. Now, it's not that clear, but if we click on BNB, there we go, or any of the tokens that's showing, there's actually 4 currencies that we could choose. There's BNB, which you will have. There's Ethereum, which you may have. There's eShare and EMP. Don't worry about either of those for now. We're going to come back to those in week 3. So you get to choose whether you're going to stake some BNB or some Ethereum. You simply click on each one, or which one rather you want. So if I wanted Ethereum, I click on Ethereum. But I don't, so let me click on it again. I'm going to click on BNB. Now, it's telling me here, look, I've got 1.1289 BNB. If I pull up my MetaMask, that will match how much is in my MetaMask. There we go. It's matching what's in my MetaMask. Don't forget, a tiny amount will be taken for gas, but literally nothing like this. It will be an absolute microscopic fraction. I could zap in all of it by clicking max, but you can also type in here. And I'm going to type in 0.2614, which was $100 worth. So I'm now, let's get clear, I'm now zapping in, I'm staking, I'm taking some of my BNB that's in my MetaMask wallet, I'm taking $100 worth of it, and I'm creating this liquidity pair, which I will then start to earn interest on. You'll see that in a second. We then simply click Zap. It's as easy as that. MetaMask will open up again. I have to scroll down, click Confirm. Sometimes I've noticed, particularly the first time you're doing it, it may even pop up again, and you may have to click Confirm again. Now, don't worry if nothing happens. Sometimes this can take 30 seconds or so. It's the blockchain working behind the scenes. And in a few seconds' time, there we go. MetaMask will pop back up again. And look, it is actually asking me again. So no problem. Let me click Confirm. So exciting. And I do understand the first time you do this, it can also sometimes be almost like a little bit kind of nerve-wracking. Look, can you see this here? It says stake. I'm staking. And did you notice this has gone up? I've now, that was 0 a second ago. I'm now being told that I've got 1.10 of my EMP ETH liquidity token staked, which is $98.96. So I had a couple of transactions, and basically it was about $1 worth of gas fees. And maybe the markets are changing, you know, every second. So there's probably a little bit of the market as well. But essentially, we've got $100 now staked. Guys, $100 is now staked. Now, I'm going to be earning 0.59% of that. And that will turn up within, well, actually, it starts paying every 6 hours. There is a limit to how often you can claim. I think it's every 18 hours, but I will clarify that. It's either 18 or 16, but we'll go through that in week 3. But you have just staked. Can we just take a moment to realize how big a deal this is? This is why you've joined this 4-week crypto mastermind, to learn how to do this. Do you agree that it would have been quite challenging to learn all this process on your own? So I hope you're feeling good, and I hope you're beginning to see, gosh, when you get your head around doing this a few times, and if you have some spare cash anywhere, you can just send it to MetaMask, and then you can stake it like we've done here. It becomes game-changing. So this will start to earn me passive income as of tomorrow. Now, it won't be a lot, of course, because it's only $100, and I'm getting 0.5% a day. But I'm getting 0.5% a day. And then if we compound it in over time, when I first started, I put 10,000 in. It quickly went to just over 20,000 within about 2 months. So it doubled. And then it's compounded and compounded and compounded. There's a reason why Albert Einstein called compounding the 8th wonder of the world. How are you feeling? So impressed with you. Right. Again, bit of a long video this, I know. But let's summarize. Right, whew, what did we accomplish in this video? Big video. In this video, I went through in real time how to stake, taking you from the very beginning. We are going to come back to this, of course, more in week 3, along with a boardroom that we've briefly looked at, and along with how to take profits. Week 3 is kind of, I've mentioned this a few times, is more of you understanding a strategy, kind of a bigger strategy of how now that you're beginning to get your head around this, and I totally understand, I'm sure you've still got lots of questions. I do get that. I don't expect you to have totally nailed it by now at all. It took me 2 years after all to kind of learn all this, but hopefully you're beginning to kind of see a bit of clarity, and some things that maybe even just a few days ago would have been as if they were a second language. Now you're thinking, oh, I kind of know what that means now. Yes, I may need to go and do it a few times. I might have to ask some questions in the community for a bit of clarity. But again, 1% better every day. That's what you are becoming. It's such an attractive quality in you to do this. Most people don't do this. Most people do not push themselves, which is why most people stay the same. No judgment. I'm not judging anybody for it at all, but clearly you and I are a slightly different individual that we want to improve, which means getting out of our comfort zone, which means learning new things, despite how at times something such as staking and yield farming and DeFi can feel a little bit like, gosh, this is a bit scary at first, but hopefully now it's a little bit more demystified. So, what do I want you to do now? Well, we're almost at the end of week 2. We're only at the halfway point. And you've accomplished so much this week. How are you feeling, is my question to you. Let me know below. Would love to know how you're feeling. Don't forget, any questions, ask them in the community. There's a link, as you know, on every page taking you to the community. I have said this before. That's the place to ask the questions rather than in the comments below the videos, because there's just too many comments on too many pages. It's impossible to monitor them all. But in the community, it's one central place for your questions. So please go there. And then we're almost coming to the end of week 2. Gosh, long video this. So let's stop. Gonna heat up my coffee. See you in the next video.